It's Wednesday night. It's November 23rd, 2022. Thanksgiving Eve 2022. Black Wednesday, Blackout Wednesday, whatever you want to call it. But we're not at the bars tonight. We are right here live on YouTube and Twitter, ready to review AEW Dynamite with y'all. Full Gear recap. We're coming out, I guess, the fallout out of the Full Gear, and not much has changed here on KOP as I'm still the predictions champ.
Shep, I'm disappointed in you.
Somebody talking.
I got to give Paul the assist here. If it wasn't for his last second stipulation of MJF winning dirty or clean and 5 points on the line, I would not have won. Shep would be the new champ. So
that is very true. That is very true.
So.
And you know, Shep's probably mad at me for adding that stipulation because it cost him. But if you guys wouldn't have been so opposite of each other on how that match was going to end, I would never have added that stipulation.
It's true.
Although I was supposed to get 5 points if MJF won at all, and I didn't get any extra points.
Well, I mean, he could have still. It was still a wipeout. So, bronze medal for Paul there. But
if I would have gone with my gut, I would have won.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
And I still wouldn't have been champ, so it doesn't matter.
You got your shot at Final Battle here on December 10th. In a couple weeks, so.
Yeah.
But I will say, I thought the pick of the night went to Shep. His Samoa Joe pick was really impressive because I thought it was going to go. If it wasn't going to go Hobbs, I thought Wardlow was going to retain. I did not see Joe coming out of Full Gear as a double champion, and that was a heck of a pull there.
Well, I can give you my explanation now because it's right.
It happened.
The only reason I saw that is they got to build some of these ROH talents going into their final battle, and
true.
To bury Samoa Joe, maybe one of the more recognized ROH talents right now, even though Jericho's the champion, he's not an ROH recognized talent. So to have one of these recognized talents, whether it be Samoa Joe, Danielson, Claudio, et cetera, you got to give one of these guys a little bit of a boost going into it. So that's kind of what I based my pick on. And Matthew Barnaby, that's what it was. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. Let's watch the podcast. I just saw it on my phone. Matthew Barnaby, met him this weekend. Anyway.
NHL player, former NHL player. I'm sure somebody listening out there knows exactly who you're talking about. So.
Yeah, they heard that name and they went, wow, blast from the past.
Yeah. All right, good.
But what did you guys think of Full Gear before we get into tonight's Dynamite? I personally thought it was AEW's strongest pay-per-view of 2022. I really enjoyed it.
I agree.
Good. No, hear me out, Paul. It was the main event, okay? And I know we've talked about this before with MJF. Is he the heel or the face?
The other night, it didn't matter. The crowd was rooting for him in Jersey. It didn't matter.
Yeah,
exactly.
They darn near booed Mox.
Some of them did. Mox flipped the crowd off.
Okay. Which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
MGF, the heel way to win. I get it. So tonight, and I'm fast forwarding a little bit. Tonight, Regal in the ring, just a badass heel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mox gets a pretty good pop. But who do we see? No MJF. So, is the crowd gonna who are they gonna cheer for? If both those guys in the ring, Regal and Mox, and then here comes MJF. Well, Regal already got the FU chance, right? The boo.
Loudly.
Mox got a semi-good pop, like straight line. I'm going straight line here. What are you going to do with MJF? That place would have erupted, I feel like.
Yep. You
have a quagmire right now in the main event picture. Other than that, take that out of there. It was a solid to above average pay-per-view.
And you know the reason MJF was not on TV tonight, right? He's out filming that movie with with
Okay.
Zac Efron.
That gives me another point.
Mhm.
If you know Tony Khan knew this movie schedule, correct?
Yeah, he had to have.
You had to.
Yeah.
How do you put one of the bigger title changes in your company? You make the switch, which I think the three of us can agree it was a good switch. Okay.
Yes, it was time.
Okay?
Yeah.
But how do you make the switch knowing that the following Wednesday, coming off of one of the better pay-per-views you've had, you can't have the guy on television?
I was pretty surprised he wasn't on tonight, to be honest.
Now, I know, selfishly, we get to see him next week.
Yeah, that's going to be great because he's got a huge pop next week. And
Okay.
yeah.
That's just us being selfish.
Yes, it is.
but as a viewer that is in California,
yeah.
Guy that can't, a woman or guy that can't go to the show.
Yep.
Like we can.
Yep. Yeah, no, you're a little ticked off. I mean, this is the Thanksgiving Eve tradition, one of the bigger shows of the year. They build it up, and yeah, your new champ's not on TV, and it is interesting. So what I'm understanding, Shep, is you kind of think they made a mistake by not pulling the trigger and making MJF the babyface.
Yeah, that's why I think he should have went over clean.
Yeah.
If he would have gone over clean, him not being there tonight, that wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah. You could have Mox come out and cut a promo how pissed off he is and yada, 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 because Mox can do that. Although, was it me or did Mox have the face during that match in the main event there against MJF? Did he have the pissy, I got to put this guy over face?
I thought he looked a little
sluggy.
Yeah, a little. I mean, it was a good match, but he looked a little. I don't want to say out of it, but not the typical Mox, I guess.
His post-match reaction wasn't a typical Mox either. So
now, and then that'll get us into obviously the opening segment of the show, but
right.
Yep. I don't know. I love Mox. I love MJF. I love Regal. Those three guys are so talented. I just feel like it could be twisted a little. I don't know.
Yeah,
we're missing something, guys.
So, and I know we'll get into the show here momentarily, but so we know MJF's first challenger is going to be Ricky Starks. That's a spoiler for anybody who didn't watch it and is going to find out listening to this podcast a little bit. It's Ricky Starks. That winner is coming. MJF's going to, let's be honest, he's going to successfully retain that title that night. So fast forward to early March. It's at the Chase Center. We found out Revolution is going to be in San Francisco, which is cool. Who do you think MJF faces at Revolution? So who's the next face he's got to challenge? I got my opinion, but I want to hear your two.
Cody. No, I'm kidding. I don't think it'll be Wardlow yet.
No.
And it kind of goes back to what I said last week with my reasoning for picking MJF. That'll happen all out. We'll see Wardlow beat MJF for the title. I'm not saying that's not a prediction. Don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to that because it. No, because it'll probably change between now and All Out. But I don't know.
Shep.
I think it'll be Danielson.
Exactly who I thought.
Yeah. I feel like he's going to weasel his way in here somehow.
I do too. I mean, he was out there tonight.
Yeah, and we'll get to that segment in a minute, but I don't know. I felt like I got a little bit of a weasel dance tonight, which we've seen in the past.
Uh-huh.
I have thoughts when we get to that segment, so.
But yeah, I think that's who it will be.
That's why I think so too. So, and speaking of Danielson, I will say the Fatal 4-Way for an ROH Championship was my match stealer of the night. The other night,
Yeah.
because I knew the Elite in Death Triangle was gonna bang. I knew that match was gonna be awesome, but I did not expect the 4-Way to be as good as it was.
No, because 4-ways suck.
Yeah, and I thought all those guys, even Sammy Guevara, I thought they all brought it. And
It was
really good.
It wasn't my match of the night. I think you guys will be shocked with my match of the night, but it wasn't mine.
And I do want to say I know I predicted it, but I do think Hayter and Storm lived up to my prediction of top 3 AEW women's match.
I think they stole the show.
Yeah.
That's my match.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That
That's
was
mine
awesome.
too.
I think they stole the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tony got a broken nose. She's got 2 black eyes going right now. So looking forward to that rematch eventually. It's going to be fun. So, all right, let's get into tonight's Dynamite, which we've kind of been alluding to. It opened up with Jon Moxley confronting Sir William Regal. Crowd gave Regal some nice chants to start the night off, a little FU chants, and TBS didn't block it.
Some explicit, not explicit material.
Yeah, he said he was going to address the fans, but MJF will not be appearing tonight. He will address fans next week. He said he's sure everyone's wondering about the relationship he has with MJF, and reveals he sent him an email several weeks ago. Moxley's music hit was surprised me. I thought he might just to go ahead and take his vacation, but he headed to the ring. He stared down Regal, looked to hit him, but Danielson ran down, asserted himself between the two to stop him from doing anything. Danielson got the mic, says he doesn't know why Regal did what he did, but they've all done bad things. Says Regal has a bad neck and 2 bleeds on his brain. Begs Mox not to hurt him. Danielson then slapped Mox. Says he doesn't care if fans boo. He tells Moxley his father shared the same struggles of addiction as Moxley, and Regal was there to teach him when nobody else was. He tells Moxley to block out the fans. Says Regal helped him understand his father's struggles. Tells him to imagine someone teaching his daughter how to love him despite his struggles, and says he loves Regal. Mox contemplates what to do next. Grabs the ring rope, stares down Regal once more, tells him he wants only one thing from Regal, and that's for Regal to run far away and never come back. He tells him to walk and tells him not to stop. Regal then approves, walks away. So we see Danielson and Mox in the ring together. So interesting way to start the show.
Yeah. I knew this was how it was going to start when they said that Regal was going to talk tonight. I knew you had to kick off the show hot with Regal, kind of test how your fans were going to go. I think we're starting, and I've kind of alluded at it a couple different times, but I think we're going to see a slow heel turn from Danielson. That kind of became more apparent tonight. Nobody else from the Blackpool Combat Club came out to save Regal. All of them have traveled with Regal, done things with Regal. He's helped train all of them. He's continuing to help train Yuta now. But nobody else came out to say, whoa, think of all he's done for you, except Danielson. I think we're going to get a slow heel turn from Danielson.
Well, and that's the thing I think they got to explain here in the next coming weeks is what happens with Regal and the BCC's relationship.
I think we see Claudio go away, go after Jericho.
Yep, that's going to be final battle, I think.
Which would be, we saw it at the end of the show tonight, but
yeah.
So then I think you're going to have a feud of Danielson and Mox, and then there's going to be floating a little Wheeler Yuta, floating away.
Yeah, they need to do something with him. He was hot for a while, and he's kind of ever since he lost that peer championship to Garcia, he's kind of off in the distance.
Which we haven't done anything with Daniel Garcia either.
No, they haven't.
Wait, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, not to get off topic because I'm good at that.
No, not you.
Yeah, I think we see Mox off TV for a week or two. I really do. And then we set something up with Danielson and him going in for the next 30, 60 days. But
we might see Mox off TV longer if he really takes his vacation.
Yeah, I mean, it was 6 weeks originally scheduled, right?
Right. So,
yeah.
That put him out till end of January.
I was so confused. So I'm so confused. Here's the thing. if we had MGF tonight coming out first, I think we got a hell of a pop. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Regal comes, he gets tons of heat.
Mm-hmm.
Moxley comes out, gets a good pop. Okay. So you got the champion who's supposed to be a heel getting babyface's pops. His new manager is just getting tons of heat. And then the supposed challenger is getting good pops. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't work.
Yep.
It doesn't work.
No.
Or maybe again, this we know it was the scheduling conflict with the shooting of the film, but is this a way to let a week set in about what's happened to see how the fans truly react to MJF? Because they could have pre-taped something and said, we did a backstage interview with MJF earlier today, and this is what he had to say. You could have done something like that, but to keep him off completely, maybe it is just a way to kind of let it settle for a week and see how fans truly react to him before you decide what you're doing with him going forward.
Well, wait a minute. What we're doing with him, we've made a commitment here.
Well, okay.
You took the belt off of Mox. You're not going to put it on. You're not going to put it on him for a couple weeks.
No, I don't mean that, but I mean as to face heel tweener situation.
Oh, I think they made up their mind with the way, and Tony Khan was talking busted open today, how MJF showed his true colors at the end of Full Gear, cares about nobody but himself. So they made their mind up what direction the character's going. I don't think the fans give a crap. He's going to get a huge pop next week in Indianapolis. I think he's going to get pops as the next months continue unless he does something so heelish that the fans can't forgive him. That's where they've kind of backed themselves in the corner now.
So are you cheering him when he comes out next week?
You better believe I am. Yes. I loved what he did in the post scrum. I thought it was fantastic.
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
It's good. It's good. It's
really
good.
I'll do that after this.
Somebody on Twitter said that the crowd leaving New York last week was chanting MJF, and a little boy started crying outside because he was so upset. And the guy goes, "Wrestling is back." When we got that kind of kids getting emotional over the heels and everything like that. So that's pretty good. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Reactions, but I think he'll get a big pop next week because it's the first week we've seen him as champ. So.
Well, here's an also thing is they only come to Indianapolis once a year.
Right.
Exactly.
They don't go to Fort Wayne. They don't go to South Bend. They don't go to
Evansville.
Will be the other town.
Yep.
I think Lafayette used to get a spot show every once in a while for
yeah.
WWE or whatever. But anyways, the only show you're going to get in Indianapolis, so intimate arena. I'm not saying it's small.
Yep.
I'm just saying it's intimate.
Yes.
It is very intimate. We can both vouch for that.
It's a very nice arena.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a great venue, actually. I think the crowd will be popped for him for Indianapolis to get a vignette or a promo. We're obviously not going to see him work,
right?
But we're going to see him talk. So yeah,
because last year he wasn't on the show at all.
So he comes out next week. He comes out with Regal. We're going to cheer for him, but if you go by what happened tonight. How are you going to get cheers and boos and cheers?
I think you keep Rico off TV for a little while. I think you literally have him do what Mox said and run away for a while.
I think he's going to reveal the email from whatever next week. So I think you're going to have him come out first, talk about said email, and then MJF hits. So if you talk about said email, how this email is going to be worded, should get boos because they're the heels, and then his music's gonna hit, and the place is gonna go nuts. I don't know.
I think they start with. I think the MJF music hits right away for the intro.
Well,
but I could be wrong, and maybe the Regal will be on TV. But the way they had him exit tonight, I think he stays off TV for a little while.
And then it could also be Tony Khan fashion that between now and next week, we go straight Hillary Clinton and the email.
The email has been deleted.
We're good for a good one political bomb drop from Shep every week lately.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like they could realize, like, hey, this isn't working.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, ooh, it got deleted. Oops.
Yeah. Yeah, it could. Well, we will see.
Yeah.
After tonight's opening segment, we went backstage. Renee Paquette was with Keith Lee, who we saw Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland split in their title match against the Acclaim the other night at Full Gear. She asked Keith where he stood with Swerve Strickland. I cannot read. Swerve walked in and dismisses Renee. He tells Lee to choose his words wisely. Both men take off their jackets, but Swerve covers up the camera and says they need to talk. I'm all for this feud. I think these guys can make some magic here.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Yes. I think they could have a good feud. I think it could be drawn out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Don't rush it to Winter is Coming.
Correct.
Right.
Keith Lee is so darn athletic.
Oh, my gosh.
I think they over push that in his matches. I mean, let's face it, he's a 350-pound man.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe bigger. I don't know. Swerve can fly with the likes of Penta and Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? As long as they don't over push the athletic ability of Keith, I think it could be good. But I think sometimes they want to make him look like a 100 or 200-pound man when he's not.
340, by the way.
340. Okay.
You were close.
If they're going to have a match, he needs to use his 340-pound frame and wear him down.
Yeah. Be a monster.
Yeah, give me a high spot. Yeah, if he wants to do his flip over the top, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but act like
Beat him down.
Yeah. So, yeah, two athletic guys. Maybe some of the most athletic guys on their roster, and that's saying a lot with this roster.
I learned something about those two last week that I didn't know in the build-up to Full Gear. I didn't know they tagged together on the Indies before they were with the WWE. I had no idea.
I think it was even before they were both involved.
Yeah,
I were both involved.
Which makes sense with their in-ring chemistry, but I had no idea on that. So, up next, I got to be honest, this was a match I kind of fast forward till the end. The All-Atlantic Championship, Orange Cassidy defending against Jake Hager. Paul tells me it was a pretty good match. I just saw the ending. So, Paul, why don't you give a recap here?
Go ahead, Paul. Knock yourself out.
I said it was a pretty good match. I didn't say I had anything on it. It was a lot of storytelling. More what, Shep?
All this match was about that damn purple hat.
Yeah, I was going to
exactly.
say
It was storytelling around the hat. Starts out. Jake takes the sunglasses, puts them on. So the rest of the entire match, Cassidy's trying to take the hat from Jake. They even reference at one point the hat gets knocked off of Jake's head, and commentary even mentions, well, since the hat came off, it's all been Cassidy. Maybe the hat helps him win. And then, of course, he lost with the hat on. So,
yeah.
But there were some good spots. Couple slip ups on Cassidy's part, but that's for another reason. My brain's in a different mode here lately. So.
Well, at the end of the match, like you're saying with the hat, Hager locked in the ankle lock, but Cassidy grabbed his purple hat and Hager released the hold. Cassidy then hit the orange punch, but Hager didn't go down, but he rolled up Hager for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, best friends Rocky Romero and Orange Cassidy looked to hug, but the Factory, Shep's favorite, everybody's favorite, the Factory, QT Marshall came out. Says that since Orange Cassidy has no problem giving out All-Atlantic title matches, but then he was trying to continue and his mic cut off. And you could tell like 3 times he was trying to hit it and his mic cut off. Then the lights go black. And I'm thinking, all right, Evil Danielson's going to come out. Or Danhausen, not Danielson. Danhausen's going to come out. And we even got some.
If you put Danhausen and Danielson as a tag team, whoa. That's the
Entertainment. There's some entertainment.
Evil Danielson. Whoa.
Yeah. Evil Danhausen.
That's
I
some
thought
fantasy booking, Tanner.
it is. Give me the pencil right now, Tony. I thought he was coming out. We got some red lining, but instead Julia Hart appears on the ramp, and then the lights come on, and Brody King, Malachi Black, and Buddy Matthews lay waste to the best friends of Rocky Romero, and then lay waste to the factory. And then Malachi says, members of the House of Black stand up. And they wreaked havoc over anybody and everybody. That's what I want to see out of my House of Black.
Yes. And some indie guys showed up that got attacked there.
Attacked, I would say pummeled. But no, a great way to bring those guys back.
Yeah, it was.
I think they got a pretty good pop.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people were excited to see him back. I thought having Julia on the stage was great. Made her look awesome. And then I would say those guys pop up in the ring. So, I say we're going to get into this. Man, how do you throw them right into the trios thing right now? I know we got a couple weeks. After tonight, I'm ready for – I don't know if I can take 7 weeks of this, guys. Just telling you.
I got a lot of thoughts when we get there on that.
But anyways, glad to have those guys back. I think they're super talented.
All three of them.
The way they brought them back tonight makes them look like just absolute monsters.
Well, my God, Brody King's clothesline on Nick Camarado. My God, he laid that in.
Well, yeah. Nick Camarado, it's Nick
I know. You got to take a big swing to get the big guy down too. So.
And I think I dislike the Firm more than I like the Factory, but they're pretty close. Pretty close.
Yeah. Factory keeps growing too. Got Cole Carter and Lee Johnson and Camarado and Solo and Marshall.
Dude, and again, I think I've said this before. The only thing Aaron Solo is famous for is because he dated Bailey.
Yep. Keyword dated. Yep.
Yeah. She dumped him.
Yep.
And he was on Sammy's vlog. Oh, and he went from Aaron Solo with a W to Aaron Solo with no W.
Hey, I don't know if you guys saw this. Guevara is done with the vlog for a while. This week was last week. He says he's taking a big break for a while.
And I'm okay.
Good.
Yep. Needs a break. Needs a break, especially because Marco came back on the vlog. So I was like, I'm out.
Told you he'd be back.
Can't stand him.
Anyways. Not to interrupt. The only good thing is that vlog makes Sammy just a wonderful heel.
Oh, it does.
Yes.
It makes everybody dislike him.
Yep.
But we need to see that translated onto television as well.
Right.
And where was he tonight?
Nowhere. After a really impressive performance on Saturday.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, House of Black back. Like you guys said, I'm really happy to see them back. And they were backstage at Full Gear the other night meeting with Tony. So probably pitching what they wanted to do to come back with creative and everything. So hopefully more of a direction that Malachi wanted to see it go to begin with. So.
And if they show up and do what they did this week, every week, that's exactly where it's going to go.
Yeah, good stuff. We then got the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament Finals between Ricky Starks and Ethan Page. Since we last spoke on last week's podcast, Ricky Starks did defeat Lance Archer and then Brian Cage on the pre-show of Full Gear. This was a pretty good one. Starks is heavily taped up after going through those battles with those two brutes. Stokely Hathaway got kicked out during the match. I knew that would make Shep happy. But at the end of the match, I think we all knew who was going to win this. I think we all knew Ricky Starks was going to come out on top. But Ethan Page was set up for the Eagle's Edge, but Starks escaped it. Ethan did hit a pair of roundhouse kicks, but Starks managed to hit 3 spears for the win. So it doesn't make Page look weak. He had to take 3 spears to lose. So Ricky Starks is the number 1 contender and will face MJF December 14th at Winter Is Coming.
And one, we had already picked Starks due to, locations.
Right.
But December 10th, if you're in Indiana, just so you're aware, you can either go to an FWF show or you can go to Napa Knee and hang out with All Ego Ethan Page.
I saw that. I saw
From
that
1
on
to
his
4.
vlog. Yeah, the other day he's doing a signing
So-
in Napanee. Yeah,
Yeah.
In
Pretty cool.
Napoli.
Napanee.
Napanee,
Yeah.
of all places, Napanee,
There's a
Indiana.
toy store there that he's got to do
Yep.
a signing at. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I was news to me because I knew Danhausen, and Brody King were going to be in Indy on Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. That didn't surprise me because he does that at a lot of the bigger cities the night before. But yeah, when he said December 10th, Napanee, I had to literally like rewind it. Wait, did you say Napanee? Amish country? All right.
Yep.
hey,
Yep.
no comments.
Yeah.
Shameless
Yeah.
plug. Go meet
Uh,
All Ego Ethan Page and then come see me in Warsaw. There you go.
There you go. We then had the video package of Wardlow, who warns Samoa Joe that he's coming for him in the TNT Championship. So, yeah, we'll see. They need to heat up Wardlow again, pretty big time. Back from the
Before you
break.
go any further, I'm going to ask this because I want to get thoughts. Are we going to see Samoa Joe Wardlow at Final Battle?
Yeah,
Yep,
For which title?
both.
Both? All
Yeah.
right.
It'll be both titles on the line.
should have been both titles the other day, anyways. I don't like
Well,
that.
I agree with Tanner to a point, but having it as a three-way is a little bit different. Now you're going to have both guys, just one-on-one. So it'll be winner take all at Ring of Honor, and I could see if they want to get Warlord back pushing where he should be. Yeah. Beating Samoa Joe on an ROH turf, right? We're going to go back ROH turf. His home turf. Yeah.
Except if they're going to only do one title, I hope it's for the television title for ROH because I don't want to go back and forth with the TNT title again. They did so much early in 2022. It lost a lot of the value for me.
Yeah.
With the whole
they should
Sammy,
do title.
Cody, Scorpio Sky, which I read an interesting report on Scorpio Sky. He's been injured for a while with the knee. I guess he's been eligible to return for a while. They just have no creative for him.
Give him time.
No, they got rid of the Dan Lambert thing. Thank God.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So they have no creative for a lot of guys right now. It seems like a little
Well,
stacked roster.
they have I wouldn't say deep roster because they have a lot of people on their roster.
Yes, they do. That's why they need a TV contract for ROH. And it seems like from the Full Gear pre-media call, Tony's struggling a little bit to get that. So, because he said he could put it on YouTube, but he doesn't want to.
Yeah. I keep hoping that we hear something first of the year.
I mean,
By the end of the first quarter of 23.
we can put anything we want on YouTube.
Right. I mean, heck, we're on YouTube.
Yeah, I was going to say they allow us on YouTube.
Exactly. Until Shep gets us kicked off.
I've been trying to fix myself.
Hey, election week, he did not make any political jokes.
True,
So therefore, we're good.
No, we're all good. We're all good. We don't say anything that gets demonetized, which we're not
Hey,
even in the monetized.
we're not
category
monetized.
Yet, so
Yeah.
not yet. Getting closer.
You can help us by subscribing.
My Rochester Glass Yeti, it mailed in a ballot. There you go. All right, we're done.
Oh,
Well, back from the break, we saw a video that surfaced on social media the other day of Jay Cargill confronting Bow Wow at a concert in Miami. So they've been going back and forth on Twitter and social media for a while now. So just trying to get some, I guess, more mainstream attention to AEW. I don't know.
But Bow Wow, that's Will Smith's kid, right?
no.
No, that's not. I thought that was little Bow Wow.
No.
All right, that shows you how much I know about that kind of.
Well,
like
Bow
Mike.
Wow. Yeah, like Mike.
Who? Mike Jordan?
Yes. The movie, Like Mike. It was a Disney movie.
It was years ago. Was it Disney? I don't even know.
Maybe it was
years
Nickelodeon.
ago.
I don't know.
was
It's one of
in
those
early
two.
2000s.
You guys are talking French right now.
Yeah.
You ever seen any Medea films?
Bless you. What?
What?
You sneeze?
Tyler Perry, Medea.
No.
I'm guessing not. All right.
Oh, okay. Medea. I thought I said Dia. I'm like,
Medea.
what are you talking about?
Medea.
All right.
I thought it was Bow Wow.
Formerly Lil Bow Wow.
Yeah.
He grew up and dropped the Lil.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking him up right now.
Yeah, don't get him confused with Lil Romeo, whose father, Master P, was in WCW for a while.
No. Hey, I know my freaking Master P. I love my No Limit Rap back in the high school days.
Were you a soldier when you was in
say,
WCW?
I had a couple chains. You know what I mean? Hey, he played for the Fort Wayne Fury. Remember that when he went back to play back?
Arena League?
Yeah, Master P just balled it up in Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
We also 5 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not Will Smith.
No.
He's some relation somehow to Snoop, I think.
Snoop, they said he was discovered by Snoop in the late 1990s.
Uh-oh.
Which is where the Bow Wow came from.
He's discovered by Snoop. Mercedes is cousins with Snoop. Mercedes is all elite. Right there. It is. Boom.
There's your connection.
Boom. Connection right there. Drop it. Going viral right here.
Mercedes takes the TBS title off of her.
Get a hold of our SRS, Paul, right here. We just figured something out.
I mean, that could work, guys. It really could.
That could seriously be where they're going with this. Thanks, Tanner.
You're welcome.
But if it happens, remember you heard it on KOP first. Tell Tony Khan to listen to the Kicking Out podcast.
And speaking of Jade, we're not done with Jade tonight. Her and the baddies, Renee Paquette, talking it up, talking about the confrontation with Bow Wow. Cargill says she has no comment. Actually, Mark Sterling says she has no comment on it. But they're going to celebrate next week in Indy about her TBS title victory. But Mark Sterling tells Kiera Hogan he needs a moment of her time and affirms her she is no longer part of the baddies, that she didn't hold up her end of the deal and help Jade out.
That was odd.
She didn't even sign the paper. They handed it to her. She had the pen, and she never wrote anything. It was really weird.
Yeah. Her hand didn't even move.
Like it was.
And
it was
Sterling
really
took it right back like she had signed it.
Yeah, it was really bad. So, but hey, I guess next week we know we're going to get a trios tag match, MJF and Jade Cargill. We know that much yet. The rest we have to wait till Dynamite. So
yeah, Mark Sterling's
Rampage.
Above
Rampage. Thank you.
What's his freak from the firm? So
Stokely.
Oh, that's his name. Yeah, Sterling and Stokely. Might as well go together.
Yeah, I just called a Rampage Dynamite. I'm pulling a JR. He's done it 3 weeks in a row. I've seen it 3 weeks in a row on Rampage. Welcome to AEW Dynamite. Like, oh, wait, that happened on Wednesday. We're on Rampage. It's like, come on, JR. Get together.
It's probably becoming a running joke
probably
now with
is.
JR.
It probably is. It probably is.
He doesn't wear a mask.
Take off the mask.
Speaking of the trios, we got match 2 of a best-of-7 series between the Death Triangle and the Elite. The Elite came out to Wayward Son by Kansas, which it sounds like they're going to do every time there's a trios match. They won't if it's just a regular tag or individual, which pretty cool. I still wonder how much money they had to shell out for that licensing. But
right?
Sounds like it came down to the 11th hour, too. They didn't know till last weekend that they had it for sure. So.
Yeah, based off of BTE, yes.
Yes, and Tony Khan's comments today on Busted Open. So
yeah,
but fun match. I mean, say what you want, and I understand Chef's point. 7 matches. How can we stand 7 matches? Because let's be honest, guys, this is going to go 7 matches. Because that 7th match is in the Forum in LA, at the Forum in LA, right in the Cucamonga Boys' backyard. So
Tanner's saying the Elite's going to come out victorious.
That's absolutely what Tanner's saying.
But I thought the first 2 minutes of this match should have been a win by the Elite. The way it happened and they attacked Phoenix, they should have buried him real quick. Got to win, done. Like I could have got behind that. I like they came in and just popped him, get a quick win. Let's get the heck out of here, right? That would have been great. Again,
I have thoughts on Phoenix, and I'm going to keep to myself.
Again, we get the typical. Everybody got to get their stuff in match, and again, it's entertaining. If you're there live, everybody's cheering. This is awesome, great. I get it, but
except tonight.
But I feel like we're gonna get 5 more of these, Paul.
Yeah, no, I know.
Well, so, I think what they need to do is tell a different story with each match.
So again, bury Phoenix in 2 minutes tonight. Come in, pop him, catch him off guard, done. 1-1 situation.
Yeah.
That
I
could-
was surprised that Triangle took a 2-0 lead. My fiance, who was even watching, seems to watch when the Elite have a match, and then she tunes out everything else. But I was explaining to her about the best of 7. She goes, "Oh, so the Elite's got to win tonight. It's tied up 1-1, right?" I go, "Yeah, I think so." It didn't happen.
Yeah, it's Chicago. They were already hated. As the
By
title
some
of
the
this
crowd, not all
episode
the crowd.
is, they were in enemy territory tonight. It would have been perfect to have them win. That's your final big FU to Phil Brooks. But we didn't see that.
They played right into it, though. I mean, they
They did.
Kenny doing the GTS motion,
GTS.
the FU, CM Punk's chance that Nick Jackson was telling, "Come on." Matt Jackson goes for the buckshot and sits down. That popped me, though. I thought that was pretty creative, but I'm like, this is getting interesting. They're throwing a lot of shots.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They started the match so good. I'm like, they're gonna squash him.
Yeah.
It'll be done. Man.
Instead, we see Penta use the hammer when it looked like Matt Jackson was going to use the hammer. Then Phoenix was mad at Penta for using the hammer.
So when it comes down to match 7, okay, so it's 3-3, right? We're gonna have a no DQ ring bell match. God, I hope not. I hope not. I just feel like, I mean, eventually
It's got to end gory.
So my question to you guys is, next week, do we see the Triangle go up 3-0, or does the Elite finally get in the win column, make it 2-1?
No, at this point it's 3-0.
I
Yeah.
think so too.
Yeah.
We're going to see 3-0, and then the Elite kind of, man, can we even do this?
Right.
You know, and then we get the first victory. All right, we can do this. The second victory, yeah. Third victory, this is ours. And then fourth, it's just going to be all hell breaks loose.
And if they're advertising it, you know it's got to go 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to go 7, especially in the forum.
They're trying to sell tickets.
Well, and really, and I know I'm glad that we get to see it, 'cause we're going to be there live in Indianapolis next week. But really, besides the indie show, all the rest are pretty big events. I mean, Winter's coming, New Year's Slam, the first of the year show, and then the forum.
New Year's Bash.
Yeah, New Year's Bash. Thank you. New Year's Bash all of them are big events, really, except the Indianapolis show. So,
Well, no, it's a big event.
Yeah, it's the only show in Indiana in the year of 2022.
No,
it said that on the screen.
We're there.
we are there. You're right.
They know that.
It's I what I want to see is, okay, if the leader going to win some matches, I want to see one match where, like, they take out one of the members, Kenny maybe. So then the Bucks have to go 2-on-3, like overcome some obstacles. That's how I could get behind this best of 7. Like,
Well,
we'll see.
Coming out of it though, we need, again, I'm going back to my original statement of the opener. We need out of this segment, we need to figure out who the face and the heels are.
Yeah,
because Death Triangle could be heels, and we're heels at one point, but people love Penta and Phoenix.
Right.
People, they love them, and why not? What's not to love about them? But then you have the Bucks and Omega coming out to this new song. Everybody's pumped at their back. But yeah, they used a couple dirty moves tonight. You know, the kick between the legs, and then they had the bell. And so again, who's the face? Who's the heel? I don't know. Maybe I'm old school enough where, and I'm old. That's no old joke by you two. But maybe I'm old school enough where I need to have that. Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. I think that, in my opinion, the Elite are the heels. Excuse me.
That triangle.
That triangle are the heels. There we go. My brain died for a second, because you've got Phoenix, who doesn't want to be a heel, but the other two want to be heels. They're doing the heelish stuff. Pac's always done the heel stuff. Pac's never been anything. Even when they tried to make him a face, he was a heel. So we're trying to establish them as a heel, but in my opinion, Fenix is the fans. The fans don't want to see them as true heels. They're never going to hate them like you should hate a true heel. And that's where Fenix comes in. So we're either going to see the Death Triangle dissolve, or eventually throughout this series, Fenix is going to say screw it and flip heel.
I could say it's probably time for them to split.
Yeah, I'd be cool if
okay
Lucha Brothers got a little single run for a little while, and then you can always put them back together.
Well, even getting Pac away from them,
Yeah.
You could throw the Lucha Brothers in to the tag team hunt,
Right.
Just to give another credible team in there,
Right.
Because, I mean, we like the Acclaim, but there's a team that we haven't seen in a long time. But
Top Flight.
yes, Top Flight out. Anyway, I'm just saying, like you could throw those guys in the tag team hunt.
Yep.
They could elevate other tag teams. Could really do good work.
True. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. So I at the end of the day, I think it's Tony's way of getting the trios titles back on the Elite, but not doing it so soon after they return to make a lot of the fan base mad. It's going to be dragged on for a bit. So
And Tony's thought process on some things is a little different.
Oh yeah.
So
Although I did like the little video that they shot, to whoever's in charge, because we're not in charge, from Kenny.
Even though they are all EVPs again. So
Yeah. It's just kind of a look. We're not in charge. Leave us alone.
you couldn't really strip them from the EV.
no.
EVP.
No, that's going to take a whole nother process. It's not just TK going in and saying, "Look, you guys are done."
Once the investigation happened, and at first, I'm thinking, all right, I can see where Punk's coming from, but once the investigation panned out, we all know.
Yeah.
So you can't blame Omega. You can't blame the Buck at all. Actually.
And I know we've talked about this in nauseum, but I was trying to explain to my fiance tonight. She still doesn't understand what this whole Punk and Bucks thing. So I was trying to explain to it. So I showed her some of the.
She said yes to you, so
I know, right? I mean, it's something. Yeah, definitely blonde there.
Oh,
wow.
you're not supposed to agree with us, Tanner.
She doesn't watch this or listen, so it's all right. We're all good.
She's watching right now, and you're in deep trouble.
I'll take my chances. But so I was watching some of the press conference back with her again, the media scrum, and it's all goes back to Hangman.
Yeah.
He had a problem with Hangman. I've went back and watched that promo with Hangman and him. And I just feel like it could have been hashed out behind closed doors. This whole thing could have been fine. And
Well, you're right. Between Hangman and then for some reason Tony Khan employing Colt Cabana,
Yep.
okay, that I think those two things snowballed in his mind.
Yep.
Into that stuff. Again, Colt Cabana did nothing wrong in AEW.
no, he did.
In AEW, whatever happened before that with his podcast, and I listened to that podcast when Punk came on there, and Punk went viral and made probably Colt Cabana a lot of money. But in AEW, Colt Cabana did nothing wrong.
No.
So just because whatever, Punk obviously is pissed off that it cost him money, and Colt Cabana shared a locker room with him, and obviously they ruined a friendship. That started it. Hangman Page going into business for himself. I don't know. I kind of enjoyed it, guys. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was really good. I thought it was personable. I love that. I've always been, since you've invited me to this podcast, I've always been a personal guy, like Paul Heyman style back when he would get personal in ECW. So to me, it was personable. Yeah, I loved it. Whether he was, yeah, whatever. So,
and I mean, let's not forget Hangman was the one of the group of 5 that didn't get offered an EVP position. Cody got one, the Bucks got one. Kenny, who hadn't even signed, had EVP position as soon as his contract was up. Hangman didn't get that. So Hangman was a little upset about that anyway.
Well,
even though he doesn't say it.
He put a chip on his shoulder. He had something to prove.
Exactly.
He's young. Okay. So again, what he did.
No. So. And I've been, and this is the last thing I'll say about it as of for now. I'm sure it'll come up at some other point. But
we'll talk about it next.
I've been
show.
mad at people before, but I don't think I've ever called somebody empty-headed dumb. I'll keep it clean so we don't have to put explicit on it. Dumb F. I mean, when he said it, I'm like, holy cow, like that's really going after somebody. And we've heard nothing from Hangman. I know he's on the shelf right now with an injury, but we've heard nothing from him. And he could have easily came out and rebutted, but nothing.
He took the high road and said, look, it's over, deal with it.
Hey, Kenny tried today in the SI article, but then his actions tonight kind of, he's trolling the internet. So
it's Kenny Omega. What do you
Kenneth
expect?
Omega. So we then got Renee again. Going back to the show. Now we're back. We then got Renee again on TV tonight, saying she has a massive announcement. Since the window for Thunder Rosa's return is uncertain, the company has asked her to relinquish the title, and Rosa agreed to do so. She then announces the new AEW Women's Champion, Jamie Hayter. Hayter comes out to a big pop along with Britt Baker and Rebel. Renee congratulates her, asks her how she feels. She goes to speak, but Britt cuts her off, grabs the mic, says Hayter is the undisputed AEW Women's Champion. Baker and Hayter then head to the ring. I'm like, there we go, planting seeds already for that turn that's going to happen.
Yeah,
but it's going to be
It is. Yeah. Just build it slow. That's your Revolution women's match right there.
March. Be what? Is that March?
Early March.
Yes.
Early March.
Early March, yeah.
We then got a 3-way women's tag match. Tay Mello and Anna Jay, AS. Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale, and then Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. No doubt who was going to win this match. They weren't going to have one of the strongest females in the company and the new women's champion lose this match. Jamie and Britt pick up the win as Britt got a curb stop on Sky Blue after Jamie Hayter delivered the hate breaker. So I'm about to say hate breaker. And then commentary after the match announced that Toni Storm's time as the interim champion is officially going to be recognized as a normal championship reign. So,
thank you.
Yep. Stop with the interim crap.
Let's go old school. If you can't defend it within 30 days, you're stripped. It's vacated. Yep. If you're doing an interim, just make them the actual champion.
Right.
Then allow when the champion who lost the title due to having to vacate it is able to come back, make them the number one contender.
Right.
That I'm okay with.
100%. That's what I miss nowadays about wrestling. I was thinking about this the other day, like in the Attitude Era, and even some WCW, but more WWF back in the 90s. On pay-per-views, not only did they have title matches, they always had number one contenders matches. Coming out of that pay-per-view, you knew who was number one contender going against Stone Cold or The Rock in the next storyline. That's something we're missing nowadays in wrestling.
Mm-hmm. So. Storytelling in general is missing a lot from wrestling, modern wrestling.
Yep.
Thank you, Paul.
Not even just big companies, but even as low as some of the indie circuits.
I'll give the indie guys a little bit of a break because they don't have television. Okay.
But
they have their internet pay-per-view, and that's all they have. Okay.
Not all of them.
Well, not all of them, but I'm just saying, like, I love GCW, but they'll have a pay-per-view this weekend, and they'll have 12 matches, and 10 of them have no background.
Yeah.
So if you have the chance to have television or even YouTube streaming, you need to mesh them a little bit, I don't know, better together.
Yep.
And the more the more I've been involved with you guys and doing the KOP predictions, the more I have realized. I mean, we go down to the final week and we have we're going to have 10 to 12 matches on a pay-per-view. We'll go into the final Wednesday and have 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get, it's like, come on, boys.
Well, it's even next week, like for Indy, and I understand them wanting you to pay attention to Rampage with the special start time. We have 1 match announced for next week.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys have seen Twitter since we've started. Looks like FTR and Top Flight, there was an injury, so.
Oh,
and it wasn't FTR, it was Dante Martin.
Wasn't Darius though?
No,
God, I thought you were going to say Darius is.
No.
Which I made a mistake last week. I need to own up to. I called Darius Dante twice last week. So
you did, but I called
Dante
AR was
Fox,
injured,
and I called AR Fox RA last week. I was out of it last week.
Oh, I didn't catch RA
last
last week.
Yeah, I sucked last week. So.
But I again, Dante was injured a couple times too, so it.
I know. God,
seems,
he cannot stay healthy.
Yeah.
No.
And it from there was a lady front row tonight, and it looks. I mean, both FTRs in the ring. Dante's laying down.
Not good.
Medical staff, and it looked. I can't tell if that's some type of stretcher or whatever, but yeah, doesn't look good.
Well, that was going to be the next segment. I was going to talk about Top Flight challenged FTR to the ROH Tag Team titles on Friday's Rampage, which I was disappointed because I was starting to pop. I'm like, we're going to get this match next week in Indy. Like, this is going to be awesome. Then they're like, Friday. It's like, oh, man. But
so let me ask you a question. How do you have arguably the best tag team in the world? You don't put them on a pay-per-view, and you don't put them on your weekly television show. You put them on a Friday, which the show's going to air at 4 o'clock, and I'm guessing because of the World Cup, Tanner? Is that why?
That's a good question. Yeah, something's on TBS. Yeah,
and maybe it's NBA, it's Thanksgiving weekend, but I'm guessing I thought it was the World Cup. And first off of mine, it's going to be 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Friday. Okay, so it's going to be pre-taped.
Yeah, I know. I'm really afraid. I don't think they want to, but as time passes, I'm afraid they're going to go back to WWE.
Well,
I don't think they want to.
But no, they don't want to. They love the freedom they have.
I know.
But you literally hold every belt in the world except WWE. Okay, they can't go get that one. But they 100% can go get the AEW belt.
Mm-hmm. And I still think they will. I still think they will eventually in 2023, but I just don't know how we get there.
But is New Japan, ROH doesn't count because it's Tony. Does New Japan and AAA play along with it this long to let them hold all 4 major belts?
Well, we'll see at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. Maybe the second reason. Well, the first reason I was going to buy Wrestle Kingdom was because of them. The second reason is because of Ospreay.
Oh my God! Yeah, and I loved Kenny's video. Him sitting on the throne. That's old school cleaner right there. Love that. So, I think the Bucks will be at Wrestle Kingdom too.
I think you know who else? I think oh good Lord, the Briscoes will be there too. I didn't mind right now.
I did. Tony Khan did say he tried to make that Briscoes FTR match happen on AEW television, and he couldn't do it. He tried to make it happen, so that's why they did it at ROH. So that tells me you get a TV contract with Warner or Discovery. I don't know what's going to happen with the Briscoes.
Well, you're gonna have to have them at Final Battle. I mean, they're getting paid. That's the thing. They're getting paid.
Right. Well, they cut a good promo for this weekend's match against the. Oh my God! Why am I blanking? Ricky Morton and Help me out here. Old school. Ricky Morton and
Oh,
Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah.
They're
I
taking them
you
on.
said Ricky Morton, and I went, oh,
Yeah, they're facing them this weekend at WrestleCade. So,
Gibson.
yep. So, speaking of tag teams, the Acclaimed were with Billy Gunn. They were Max Captor did a rap, took shots at the roster for what went down Full Gear, including Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal's lost Darby and Sting.
That was good.
Yeah, it was. Bowen says good to be back in Chicago, and there's a lot to be thankful for. He says they proved that everyone loves the Acclaim after retaining their tag titles. Billy unwraps his hands. Bowen calls for him to do the scissor, but Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh appear, and so does Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett gets a TNA sucks chant from the crowd. Jarrett says if they want to talk smack, then he'll give them something to talk about. Gunn then grabs a mic and says no one wants to see that old man on the screen. Says there's a moment. This is the moment everyone's waiting for. Then the trio scissors. So, I see Jeff Jarrett catching a lot of flack on Twitter. I like the guy. I think he's a great heel. But here's what I don't like. I don't like the thought of him and Jay Lethal getting a tag team title shot before FTR.
I'm going to disagree with you here. You know me, I'm an FTR homer.
Yes, you are.
I think you have to have a filler right now going into Winners is Coming with them. You got to have a tag title match. But I think you wait. You have this match that claim FTR. I think you build it up to something bigger.
Jeff Jarrett just keeps getting himself in big matches, doesn't he?
You know what? And Jeff Jarrett can still work.
He can.
He can. He's 55, 56, whatever he is. He can still work. And even better, he can still talk.
Yeah.
I mean, taking before he got here into AEW, and I think this is what got him into AEW.
He's 55. Yep.
55, okay. What got him into AEW and realized that Tony Khan could make some money off of him was his mini series leading up to Ric Flair's last match.
Yes.
He was amazing in that.
Yep.
Take the wrestling match out because the wrestling match is what it is. Whatever. It was shit, but whatever. But the lead up to it, the YouTube videos.
That was great.
Dude,
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
And he's had a kind of a rebirth.
Resurgence. Yeah.
Rebirth. He had some issues. We all remember when he debuted for AAA and he was drunk throwing tortilla shells at the fan.
Yeah.
It was probably a low point in his life.
Yeah.
And then he got his stuff together and
Yep.
he's just gotten better. So
He's got sober, and really, I think what helped him out a bunch was doing his My World podcast with Conrad, because a lot of people went, I can't stand this guy. That's actually my favorite wrestling podcast now, because he tells really good stories.
it's good.
Yeah, it's really good. So, and I thought Sting brought it once again. That guy at 63 years old, unbelievable. Loved him jumping on Satnam and those guys. I'm like, I'm here for Sting going high spots, man.
My heart can't take it.
I don't care anymore. I'm just enjoying every second of it.
Paul, you're like 26, Paul. You Sting's like
35.
Sting's like 79.
He's 63, but get up there. He might wrestle till he's 79. I mean,
It's Sting, yeah.
it is Sting. But he and Darby are wrestling with Great Muta. Muta's last match. It was just announced today that Darby's in on that match.
Yes.
Too. Awesome.
I saw that.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We then got the main event tonight, which I was surprised this was the main event. Going into the night, I thought the trios would be, but it was the ROH Championship. Chris Jericho defending against Tomohiro Ishii. Holy crap, this was a hard-hitting match.
You think?
I don't think I've ever seen somebody's chest get literally busted open like Chris Jericho's tonight.
No.
I get it, but I think he nicked him.
You think he bladed?
He nicked himself a little bit.
Man, his chest was so red, though.
Here's the reason why. If you look, when he won, and they raised his hand, they kind of zoomed in a little bit, and there was about
that little bit,
quarter inch where the blood was coming out. Then the blood spread. Which, hey, I get it. It worked. We all loved it. It just put Ishii over, like, the strong style guy he is. And I did a little research on this guy, and up until 10 years ago, he was just kind of a mid-carder, and then he got a cult following, and so they put the Never Openweight Championship on him. And then he's defended it. I think he's 6-time champion. So I got to looking like this guy basically went in as an undersized guy and won the crowd over. Who am I relating to in America?
Daniel Bryan.
Thank you.
Or Bryan Danielson, I should say. No.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
At the time, it was Daniel Bryan when he did it.
Exactly. So this is the freaking Daniel Bryanson from Japan, basically, is what Ishii is. Now he's 46 years old, but I mean he's had a six-time openweight championship, never openweight championship, ROH television championship. He's had the New Japan Trios championship as well. But yeah, so this is basically the Daniel Bryanson of Japan. And yeah, he's awesome.
It was a fun match. It was hard hitting. I mean, even with the way Jericho won with that lion saber, he wrenched back on that thing, and Ishii was flipping him off and tapping out with his middle finger. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was great.
That was pretty good. So, it's after the match, Jericho looks like he's going to go at Ian Riccaboni, but then Claudio comes out of nowhere and smacks Jericho with a vicious right hand. So it looks like probably setting up Claudio and Jericho for final battle. Any thoughts, Paul?
I'm for it.
Paul?
I'm for it. I'm for it. Sorry, my computer froze temporarily there for a minute, so it took me a minute to get back. I'm all for Claudio and Jericho 1-on-1 for the belt at final
rematch from Grand Slam.
And I think with it being ROH, Claudio goes over.
It might be time.
Well, that and
I don't know, though. I'm enjoying this.
More touring coming up with Fozzy. I would look at that with Jericho's wrestling schedule. Like, his Fozzy schedule when he announces these shows, and it's smaller venues, they tend to sell out pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at like all the commitment he's got there. He's due for a break.
I will say, though, this guy's been a workhorse for AEW since the start, and this run he's on right now with the RH Championship, I'm really enjoying. And as of right now, and we're almost at the end of 2022, he's my wrestler of the year.
Jericho is?
Yes, he is. I think his in-ring work this year has been as good as it ever has been in his career at the age of 52. That's just me, though. I think he's brought it this year.
Hey, the only reason you're saying this is because at the end of September, from October 1st to now, we haven't seen one guy. And
we haven't seen Dax. Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
That's the rest of the year still.
He was right up there. And I would take Jericho over Mox, and that's for AEW. He also got Roman Reigns, and really Will Ospreay might take the cake if we're doing the worldwide.
Right, but if you just look at AEW and I'm gonna sound like a Homer fan, you can't blame Dax right now.
No.
Because up until October 1st,
yeah, he was right there.
We all sat here and talked about just like
he was right there.
Let's all shoot tequila because of Dax.
Yep.
But I don't know what happened. I don't know if there's backstage politics or Tony Khan just says, "Hey, let's take a break from you guys," which I can't wrap my mind around. But
it really cooled him off. Whatever happened.
It did.
But did you guys see, speaking of Jericho, the 3 trademarks he filed for this week? He always filing trademarks.
Well, of course he is.
Filed for Seltzer Man, which could that be a dig at CM Punk?
No. Oh.
It's also this day in Chris Story and Chris Story.
Well, I got an email today, I think it was, where starting December 1st, Web is Jericho will be back. You'll get weekly or monthly newsletters from Jericho's website. Apparently, at one point, I signed up for it, and I got an email today because of it.
Maybe
I
that's
don't remember
where that,
signing up
maybe,
for it.
maybe that's
so
where that Chris story thing's going to go into. then.
I think that's what it's going to be.
Hey,
But
I still drink the bubbly seltzer, okay?
yep.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah, he's got to do
wrong
something
bubbly.
with Seltzer, man. I don't know. He's got to do something.
Hopefully Bubbly comes out with a seltzer and I don't have to mix it in these big headers.
But yeah, it's not a bad time to be Chris Jericho. He's always reinventing himself and still going strong.
So, Tanner, I got a question for you for next week.
Yep.
This will be our 3rd year going
Yep.
to Dynamite and Indy.
Yep.
Shep's first year, to my knowledge.
Mhm.
Are we going to finally get to sing Judas?
God, I hope so. That's literally been the only stop that they've ever interrupted the song. And that was that stupid Lambert. I don't even remember the America Top Team interrupted him last year and beat him up on the ramp and then threw him through a table.
Just started.
Yep.
It was to the point where the fans just start singing and then Jericho gets attacked. I was like, are you kidding me?
That's literally the only place I can remember him not letting the fans sing the song. So.
Yeah, I think we even text each other during the event. We didn't get to sing Judas.
Yep. Yeah, I was ready. So.
Yeah.
So was I.
Looking forward to next week's show.
You guys know the words?
Yep.
Yes. I'm a Fozzy fan.
I wouldn't call myself a Fozzy fan, but I know the words of that one. So.
Oh, I'm a Fozzy fan. fan. I have all their albums. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Sounds like you need to get one on vinyl and play it on the vinyl record of the day.
Trust me, it's in the works.
Okay. All right.
It's in the works.
Well, I am curious to hear your guys' rating for tonight's show.
Shep, you go first.
All right. 6-7.
All right. I'm going a little higher than I was last week. I'm going 7-3.
7-3. All right. I'll meet you guys in the middle-ish. 6-9.
All right.
Yeah, you know. It was there for the taking. So
I'm the one who's supposed to be in the middle. Tanner, you were supposed to go above me.
Jeez. You were on the low totem pole last week. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
You're never. I thought it was a fast-paced moving show tonight. But nothing really. I mean, I was struggling coming up with the title for tonight's show, and usually I got one thing that I can take right away. And having a title for tonight's podcast, I was struggling. So that's never a good takeaway for me.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do this thing called Wrestler of the Night.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. I'm actually calling it this time.
Yeah, you got third in predictions. You might as well go first. So.
Exactly. Let the loser do something first. Jeez.
Yeah.
You let me have the highest rating, so let me go first. And I'm going to use my executive power, and I'm going to actually have 2 wrestlers tonight, and it's not a tag team. I kind of hinted at this during the show tonight once I knew everybody was far enough ahead. My first one actually comes from a gentleman I actually know. I got to share their locker room with him Saturday. Buddy Matthews kicked his head off and then threw him off of the stage. There was a gentleman who came out in green tights with purple on them. His name is the Human Highlight Isaiah Moore. He was at FWF this Saturday. He had another show on Sunday and then shows up on Dynamite. This is his 3rd AEW event that he's done so far in the last year and a half. Look forward to seeing him continue to do great things, whether he ends up with AEW or WWE or
did you know he was going to be there?
I did not. I actually asked him if we were going to see him anything AEW again here soon, and he wouldn't answer the question. He said, I mean, he did, but it was kind of just a, if it happens, it happens. Cool. I'm sure he knew he was on his way there when I asked him Saturday. So my son's a big fan of his since he was part of a tag team called the Thieves of Greatness. So to see him on TV was pretty cool. And then my main pick would be Jericho. Hard fought battle. Whether it was, I didn't catch the blade incident, but that would explain why there was a random spot of blood on his head as well. But whether it was blading or whether it was taken it the hard way, his chest was purple. So taking all those shots, still coming out victorious, I'll give it to him.
Shep,
Starks. Ricky Starks tonight.
you guys suck. Both of my picks.
Hey, I was with Starks until the Jericho match, and then I was like, man, I mean, and having busted open during the commercial kind of leads to what Shep was saying, but still, it takes a lot to do.
Yeah. The whole Ricky Starks thing, I love that he's, they come out all wrapped up and he just sells it. He sells it the whole darn match, but he still gets it done. He's making me a fan. I think if we go back 7 months ago, I don't know how long I started doing the podcast with y'all. When I filled in, it could have been 6-7 months ago. I don't know how long it's been.
Probably about that, yeah.
I was not a Ricky Starks fan. I thought he was awful. But tonight, going through what he went through, over the weekend, coming out wrapped up, I loved it. He's selling it. Man, yeah. Hell of an athlete. Ricky Starks, my wrestler of the night.
He's got a lot of charisma.
Yeah.
So
what we got left, Tanner?
The little feud with him and MJF's gonna be fun, by the way. A lot of good mic work.
Obviously we know MJF's gonna go over,
but
it's gonna elevate Ricky, hopefully.
Yes.
And to your point there, Shep, Team Taz Ricky Starks was awful. Getting away from Team Taz was the best thing they did with Ricky.
That's a good point. Good point. I could go Jamie Hayter tonight. Tonight was a big night for her, being officially the women's champion, and then her team getting the win. I could actually go the Elite with, even though they got the loss, hostile territory, playing into the CM Punk thing. Could go Pockets. But I'm actually going to break the rules. I'm going with the team because I can do what I want, because I'm predictions champ and I can do what I want.
Ooh.
House of Black returning tonight, making a statement. I didn't see that coming tonight. I didn't know when they would show up. Didn't think it would be that segment, but really enjoyed it. I like the dominance they showed. Hopefully that continues going forward.
So. But I thought Black was going back to WWE. Why'd he show up tonight?
I truly do think he and Buddy wanted out of their contracts. Tony wasn't going to let them, but they've made agreement to repackage some stuff. So
yeah, I mean they had 4 or 5 years left. So,
but Buddy's jealous that Dominic's flirting with his girl over there in WWE, if you want to call it that. So.
I mean, yeah, good for Dominic.
Yeah. I'll keep it PG. I could really say some things right now, but
look, the storyline just reminds me of the Eddie Ray Dominic, who's your daddy.
It's supposed to,
and I know, but
yeah.
I mean, do we eventually get a? I don't know. Rey Mysterio and her match. I
don't know. I've tried to give Raw a few more chances, and I still can't do it.
See, here's the thing, Chef.
Better than it was, but
wait. I got Moose meetings on Monday nights. It just kind of plays in the middle of it. I can't.
Yep.
I can't change my meeting. Sorry, Shep. I tried. Different Moose. Here's the thing.
Well played.
Look how she's built. She reminds me of China, and H was build wise.
Okay.
She has more personality than China.
Absolutely.
H was the one who pushed to have China get involved with the male wrestlers. H is running the show, so we could see her and Ray for custody of Dominic.
I mean, I think Rhea is awesome. I think she's athletic enough.
She is.
She's a bigger lady.
She's fantastic.
I guess I remember during the pandemic era, during WrestleMania. Excuse me. She put over Charlotte,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I thought it was awful. Like
I did too.
I enjoyed Charlotte. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed her a bunch, but like at that time, that was before Rhea was all blacked out. I think she was blue and white back then on her gear and stuff like that. Now she's all blacked out, and yeah, I mean, no, you can give her a push, like you did China, but you got to remember China won the Intercontinental Championship with Jeff Jarrett and some gimmick stuff, right?
It's when Jeff held Vince hostage pretty much for more money.
Yeah, but wasn't the match gimmicky? If I remember,
I think she hit him with a guitar.
Yeah, I thought there were. I don't know. There was pies. I don't know. Anyways, yeah.
You're thinking the X-Pac China video. You're getting confused there, Shep.
Jesus Christ!
Jeez, that was a lot, Paul. That was a lot.
Wow.
Wow, we just really get off topic.
Yeah, this is spiraling out of control here.
Yeah.
It's Thanksgiving Eve.
Back to Rhea though. I think she could be a superstar. Could she hold a men's belt? Yeah,
maybe.
I think she could. I don't know if you guys noticed about 2 weeks ago. Remember a guy named Scotty Too Hottie?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he got blasted on Twitter about saying, "Hey, look, guys, I'm not going to do an intergender match.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 20-year-old daughter, so I don't want to go in a ring and hit a woman, basically."
Mm-hmm.
And he got shamed.
I know. Yeah, he did.
He got just absolutely shamed. So that brings up a point.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, if you remember, let's go back. You remember Impact?
Mm-hmm.
Blanchard, Brian Cage took bumps for Tessa Blanchard. How do you guys feel about that?
He shouldn't have.
Okay, but she ended up winning the world title in Impact.
I know.
Over Sami Callihan, right? Was it
Yeah.
Sami Callihan?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That freaking
Okay.
company.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't have a problem with it if it's done correctly.
Right. There's got to be a reason, and it's got to be done correctly. And I think a Rhea match would make sense eventually.
I think Rhea Ripley and Ray size-wise works, right?
Yes.
Rhea Ripley and Roman Reigns does not work.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
So
her and Lesnar does not work.
Nobody in Lesnar works. He's a part-timer jackalope.
He's a big fan of the Pauls, though. Saw that on Twitter today.
Yeah.
Logan and Jake Paul.
He is?
Yeah, he said he was talking to Jake before the Saudi show and asking if he's ready to go. And Jake's like, "Yeah, I'm a little nervous." He goes, I'm proud of you guys. I've been watching you guys, following you guys. Really impressed with what you guys are doing." It's like, oh my god,
it's pretty amazing to hear out of Lesnar.
Yeah.
This is a PG podcast, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next.
All right. Any final thoughts from anybody before we wrap this thing up?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Make sure you eat all the turkey, stuffing, green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. What I'm missing something.
Pie.
Easy Rock.
Got to get the pie.
Well, I mean,
Rock is all about the pie.
Yeah. We'll see about that.
Shep, we're not going down that. I already tried that, and y'all yelled at me.
Hey, pumpkin pie. Shove that stuff out of there. It's all about sugar cream.
Yes, I do not like pumpkin pie either.
Pumpkin suck.
Mm-hmm. I don't like pumpkin anything. So
okay, Paul.
Yes.
Are you a pumpkin?
Pumpkin cream. You gotta take a stand.
Pumpkin or sugar cream?
Yeah.
Those are my two choices, huh?
I mean, what else are you gonna have on Thanksgiving?
Dutch apple pie.
Dutch apple pie. That's not Thanksgiving.
I don't care. It's good. Cheesecake.
Well, first of all, that's a cake, not a pie.
It's in a pie crust.
You need to follow us here.
I'm understanding why he finished third at Full Gear now.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. No, I was trying to look for something so that I could talk about it here in just a few minutes. And I was distracted by spoilers. Yeah. And I was distracted by spoilers that are all over Twitter because apparently Chicago doesn't know how to keep their mouths shut.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That'll be us next week in Indy. I'm going to be tweeting spoilers out to Meltzer. I'm going to send Meltzer you dare me to send Meltzer the match results next week? He's always looking for correspondence. I'll do it.
I'm going to be focused on the show this year. The last 2 years, I was all about pictures. This year, I'm going to just enjoy the show.
Close to the beer vendor.
And we're in the 10th row so hard camera's looking this way. We're on the right side. So.
Yeah.
We'll be behind Justin.
Yeah, we'll be behind like where the ring announcers sit, 10th row.
So if anybody goes through the ring announcer table, you might see us on TV for a second.
Maybe. So
Hopefully the beer's cold.
Who do you guys hope to see next week? I guess before we wrap this up.
Well, obviously, I know we're going to see MJF. We're going to see the Elite.
Yep.
We're going to see Death Triangle.
We're going to see Jade.
We'll see Jade. I mean,
Shep wants to see FTR.
We're going to see FTR at some point, right?
Well, with Dynamite and Rampage, we got a good chance to see it quite.
Well, if you look at the graph, we're going to see Saraya and we're going to see
Acclaimed. Right.
So
if we see the Acclaimed, we're probably going to see Sanjay and Jeff Jarrett and Lethal and Satnam.
I'll see Jarrett and Lethal.
Yeah.
Screw the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Paul froze.
Yep. Yeah, I'm back, and then I went again, and then I came right back. I don't know what's going on with my internet tonight. It doesn't like me. I don't know. I'm good with Saraya. Shep wants to see FTR.
I like to see Sting. I want to see
Sting. Yeah.
Hold on. You say Shep wants to see FTR. I think the last 6 weeks, any AEW fan wants to see FTR, right?
I was talking of the three of us. If we could only each pick one, you get FTR hands down. Nobody else.
And then I want to see. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I love them. They're a great wrestler. All right.
So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
It will be fun. No KOP next Wednesday night or Thursday morning. So be aware of that.
Yep.
No, wait a minute. Hold on.
We're not podcasting on the way back.
Can we do it on our phones on the way back?
Good.
Yeah, but it'd be later than normal, especially if we stick around for dark.
You mean Rampage?
Rampage.
Yeah, whatever they're shooting now. Yeah. I don't know. It was dark the first year we were there. Yeah. Last year was both.
I just have a feeling I could picture like Paul driving us home. Like Tanner in the back. We can all do it from a phone. Yep. All right.
How did I get volunteered to drive?
Stay tuned, everybody.
Wait. Yeah, we know why Shep's not driving home.
Daddy sodas.
Daddy sodas.
That's what LaGreca calls them.
He's going to be celebrating Dax style.
Ooh, tequila. That might be a little bit rough, but
yeah.
All right, so stay tuned for further updates. We may be here next week. We may not. It's not going to be this setup next week. I'll say that much.
Right.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out to stay loyal to our KOP fans.
All righty, Paul. Wrap us up.
And speaking of staying loyal to our KOP fans, it is the end of the year, so we've got a promo code now if you want to go buy. I love how I'm covered. That's okay.
It's definitely on purpose.
Yeah, I figured.
Didn't think.
Head on over to our shop by visiting our social media and clicking on kicking-out-podcast, that one, the spring tea one, and you can get yourself some cool stuff. We've got hoodies, we've got t-shirts, we've got coffee mugs, we've got a little bit of it all. We've added some new stuff. Tanner's very good at keeping up with adding new things to the store. And with it being the holiday season, you can use promo code HOLIDAYS to earn 25% off of your order at checkout. Stop on by. That's running through the end of 2022. So go get yourself some cool merch and support a good podcast while looking great doing so. Be sure to follow the Kicking Out Podcast on all social media at Kicking Out Pod. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube. Help us grow our YouTube channel. And of course, listen to the Kicking Out Podcast wherever you happen to listen to your podcasts. And if that happens to be Apple Podcast, give us that 5-star rating because we are the 5-star KOP. And be sure to follow Tanner Lee, our KOP predictions champion, by pure luck. 5 bonus points got him that win. At Tanner Lee 92.
Brass knucks, baby. Brass knucks.
All your fault, Paul.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, you know what? There were multiple times brass knucks were used Saturday night. We're not getting into that right now. But follow the rightful, self-proclaimed Kicking Out Podcast champion, Austin Shepard, at the Shep27. Follow myself, the guy who doesn't stand a chance at getting back the belt that he made popular, at Paul Zartman 921. And with that, boys, be sure to join us next time as we kick out yet another podcast.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.